You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button. If you missed it on Wednesday, LSU offensive lineman Tyree Adams and hat tip Kogi Riley, he's the one who screen grabbed it and posted it on Twitter. But Tyree Adams posted on his Instagram story that he had successful surgery and says, thanks to everyone who checked on me. That's a picture of him in a hospital bed post-surgery. The nature of the injury is not disclosed. What I can tell you is that over at LouisianaSports.net, we are reporting that it was a knee injury suffered in pregame warm-ups before Ole Miss, which just absolutely sucks. Not that any injury is good in any way, but a knee injury in pregame warm-ups, I mean, that might... The only thing worse would be a non-contact drill at practice. We don't know the extent of the injury at this point, and it's Thursday at 4 o'clock. Brian Kelly's meeting reporters Thursday after practice, then he has his coach's show, so no doubt he's going to be asked about it. But, again, what we were told at LouisianaSports.net, or what we're reporting, I should say, at LouisianaSports.net, is knee injury suffered in pregame warmups. And, for Tyree Adams, this is so disappointing, too, because this is a guy who had become LSU's sixth offensive lineman, and this became very crystallized during fall camp, because all throughout fall camp, when LSU would run with their second team, Tyree Adams was backing up Will Campbell, so he's the primary number 2 at left tackle. But if you remember, during fall camp, there was a time where LSU was without Miles Frazier, and there was a period where they were without Garrett Dellinger. In both of those instances, it was Tyree Adams who went in at those guard spots. So Adams, and you also remember that against it was the UCLA game where Emory Jones went down kind of with a twisted ankle and came out of the game for a brief time. It was Tyree Adams that went in at right tackle. So Adams has been your number 6 offensive lineman. He's been your sixth guy. Basically, he's the number 2 at every spot except center, because that would be Cohen Eccles, the freshman, backing up there at center, the number two center. So now, without Tyree Adams, where do you go if you have a shuffle on your offensive line is a big question. No doubt Brian Kelly will be asked that. We'll see what he says. But, whenever they were running 1s and 2s, right, the second team tackles were Tyree Adams at left tackle and freshman Weston Davis at right tackle. I'm not sure that, God forbid, knock on Formica, if something were to happen, let's say Will Campbell caught a cramp or something, had to come out of the game, had to go to the bathroom. I'm not even going to say injury. That I don't think they're putting Weston Davis in at left tackle. I think what they would probably do it again. I don't know what they would do, because the answer has been Tyree Adams. We haven't seen anything else. My guess is they would kick Emory Jones to left tackle and then put in maybe Weston Davis at right tackle, where he's more comfortable. Emory's played a ton. He was a left tackle in high school. He could play either spot. The only reason he's not a left tackle in college is because you got the best left tackle in college right now. So that's my guess as to what they would do, so as to get the best 5 available on the field. Last year, Bo Bordelon was one of your backups at left tackle. We've seen Bo Bordelon primarily play right guard this year with the 2s. Bordelon, if you're looking for a veteran guy, could maybe kick out there. I don't know what other options you would have. Let's just hope you don't have to find out. It would stand to reason it would be much easier to find a rotational offensive lineman on the interior at one of the guard spots than to go play tackle, especially against Arkansas this weekend, where Landon Jackson, who had a slow start to the season but is a very good player, He's an all SEC caliber player. He's in some mock drafts as a first-round pick. That would be unenviable. So let's hope LSU goes up to Fayetteville this weekend and for the remainder of the season stays healthy, because there aren't really opportunities anymore to get guys reps. You've played all of your non-conference games. I mean, you don't need me to spell it out, but I mean, after this game at Arkansas, you're at A&M. You have an open date, then you play Alabama. Then you're at Florida. You're home against Vandy and home against Oklahoma. Like, there are no more layups. There's no more opportunity like against South Alabama, where if you wanted to, you could freely rotate guys in the second half to get them experience. So you got to stay healthy on the offensive line, because while you have talent, you have young talent, you don't have any experienced depth. That's what losing a guy, which we haven't talked about this at all this year, but that's what losing a guy like Marlon Martinez does. Marlon Martinez was a veteran guy who could have been a backup at center, could have been, might have won the starting center job, could have played either guard spots. That's a veteran guy that you would have had right there ready to go in. That's the value of a guy who hangs around the program and is a versatile rotational piece on your offensive line. So, I mean, think of a guy like T-Bob, who works with us here. I mean, T-Bob could play any of the interior spots, center, either guard. And he was a starter, but also rotated. He was so versatile, they could have done just about anything. So I'm not going to downplay Tyree Adams' absence. It's a guy you hope you don't need him, but if you do, right now you're surely short of options. For Adams on the season, by the way, he's played 79 total snaps, 51 at offensive line, 28 on special teams, so field goal, PAT. So for a total of 79 snaps on the season, obviously, the bulk of his reps at offense. There's only 2 games where he played on the offensive line. It was the week 2 against Nichols. He played 38 snaps. 3 games. Forgive me. Week 4, that would have been the UCLA game. He played the 2 snaps when Emory Jones came out, and then week 5 against South Alabama played 11 snaps on the offensive line, and then obviously didn't play this week against Ole Miss. So disappointing. Tyree Adams, knee injury, as we're told, suffered in pre-game warm-ups against Ole Miss, had surgery on Wednesday. What the offensive line rotation behind him looks like now, as he was the guy at the other 4 spots. If someone went down, he was the one going in. This is a very valuable piece that's now absent from your offensive line heading up to Fayetteville. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.